Hey everyone, welcome back to Yas Talk Cinema, where we explore stories of ambition, wit, and unexpected twists that keep audiences entertained and thinking long after the credits roll. Today's spotlight is on Mad Money 2008, a fun, clever, and thrilling comedy crime film that blend humor, charm, and a touch of rebellion into one wild ride. This movie, directed by Callie Khouri, features an incredible cast, including Diane Keaton, Queen Latifah, and Katie Holmes. Three very different women who find themselves in an impossible situation that leads to an even more unbelievable plan. The film holds an IMDb rating of 5.9 out of 10. But don't let the numbers fool you. This is one of those movies where the fun is in the journey, the chemistry, and the playful chaos that follows. This story begins with Bridget Tardigan, played by Diane Keaton, a middle-class woman whose life is suddenly turned upside down when her husband loses his job and their comfortable financial security begins to crumble. Faced with debt, bills, and the fear of losing everything she's worked for, Bridget takes a job as a janitor at the Federal Reserve Bank. Now, this might sound like an ordinary job, but as she soon discovers, she's cleaning rooms filled with money, cash that's about to be shredded and destroyed because it's old and worn out. That's when a spark of an idea forms, a wild, daring thought that could change her life forever. Bridget begins to notice how much money passes through the system unnoticed, unguarded, and eventually destroyed. The temptation becomes too strong to ignore, and she starts thinking, what if some of that cash didn't have to be destroyed? What if it could quietly disappear into her hands instead? Of course, she can't pull off something like this alone, so she starts to build her team. Two women who, at first glance, couldn't be more different from each other. First, there's Nina, played by Queen Latifah, a single mother working hard to provide for her kids. She's loyal, sharp, and has the kind of street-smart practicality that keeps her grounded. Then comes Jackie, played by Katie Holmes, young, quirky, a little naive, but full of energy and mischief. Together, the three form an unlikely alliance, bound not by greed, but by desperation, hope, and a shared dream of freedom from their financial struggles. As their plan comes together, it's both thrilling and hilarious to watch how ordinary women turn into masterminds of a daring heist. They come up with a surprisingly simple yet effective method. While working their shifts, they sneak out small amounts of money that's scheduled to be shredded, gradually collecting thousands in cash without raising suspicion. Their teamwork, creativity, and boldness give the story its beating heart. What keeps Mad Money interesting isn't just the crime itself, it's the relationship between the three women. Bridget is the planner, driven by intellect and panic. Nina is the voice of reason, constantly weighing morality against survival. Jackie brings the humor and spontaneity that keeps things light when tension builds. Together, they balance each other out, turning a risky idea into an almost foolproof operation. But as every good story teaches us, no plan goes perfectly forever. The pressure begins to mount and cracks start to show in their perfect little scheme. The women start to question their choices, their loyalty, and even their friendship. There are moments of paranoia, wondering if someone has found out, if the cameras have caught something, or if one wrong move will bring everything crashing down. The tension builds not with guns or explosions, but through fear, trust, and the quiet realization that their lives will never be the same again. Despite the suspense, the movie never loses its sense of humor or heart. Mad Money is more than just a heist film. It's a story about ordinary women reclaiming power in a world that often leaves them behind. Each of them has a personal reason for doing what they do. Bridget wants to save her family from financial ruin. Nina dreams of giving her kids a better future. And Jackie simply wants to feel alive, to do something daring that breaks her out of her everyday routine. Their motivations are deeply human, and that's what makes the story feel real and relatable, even when the situation gets over the top. One of the most enjoyable parts of the movie is the energy between the three leads. Diane Keaton brings her signature mix of intelligence and panic. Queen Latifah grounds the film with warmth and strength, and Katie Holmes adds a sense of lightness and fun that keeps everything from getting too serious. Their chemistry is effortless, making their friendship feel authentic and alive. You get the sense that despite all the risks, they truly care about each other, and that bond becomes the emotional center of the film. Visually, the movie strikes a nice balance between the mundane world of the Federal Reserve's strict environment and the excitement of pulling off a secret heist right under everyone's nose. There's a certain satisfaction in watching these women take control, planning every detail with precision and nerve. The clever editing and smooth pacing keep the audience hooked, letting the tension build as the stakes grow higher. Throughout the film, there's also a quiet commentary on the class divide, how people who follow the rules often get left behind, while the system keeps favoring those already at the top. Mad Money doesn't push that message too hard, but it lingers under the surface, reminding us why these women felt they had no choice but to take matters into their own hands. It's about justice, survival, and the desire to escape a life that feels unfairly stacked against them. As the story progresses, their bond is tested in ways they never imagined. Trust becomes fragile, and the consequences of their actions start closing in. But instead of turning dark or tragic, the film keeps a light, hopeful tone, reminding us that even in chaos, humor and humanity can shine through. You find yourself smiling at their wit, laughing at their mistakes, and admiring their courage to take on something far bigger than themselves. By the time the movie reaches its conclusion, it's clear that Mad Money isn't just about stealing cash. It's about stealing back control of one's life. It's about women standing up, taking risks, and proving that intelligence, teamwork, and bravery can come from the most unexpected places. The ending, without giving anything away, brings the story full circle with a satisfying sense of closure and poetic justice. The film's strength lies in its spirit. It's fast, funny, and full of personality. You can feel the joy behind its creation, the rhythm of the heist, and the tension that bubbles beneath every clever move. While it's not a gritty crime thriller, it's a refreshing blend of comedy and suspense that reminds us that sometimes rebellion doesn't need to be violent. It can be smart, subtle, and just a little mischievous. In the end, Mad Money delivers exactly what its title promises: madness, money, and the thrill of what happens when ordinary people dare to dream beyond their circumstances. It's a story that encourages us to think about the choices we make, the risks we take, and the lengths we go to protect the people we love. With its sharp performances, entertaining twists, and empowering message, it's a feel-good crime story that leaves you smiling rather than shaken. If you enjoy movies that mix humor with heist, friendship with chaos, and heart with clever plotting, then Mad Money is definitely worth watching. It's a fun reminder that even in the most unlikely moments, courage and creativity can change everything. If you liked this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Yash Talk Cinema for more cinematic deep dives into movies that inspire, entertain, and surprise you in the best ways possible. See you in the next one.